Crystal Palace Meditation. Hello, and thank you for joining us for this meditation. Take a moment to ground yourself, getting comfortable in this moment before we dive into the relaxation and peace within this guided meditation. So sitting or lying down in a comfortable position, with your eyes gently closed, and relax. Let go of everything that has happened today and bring yourself to this very present moment. And you can do this easily by beginning to focus on your breathing. So just for a moment, without changing the course of your breath, when you are breathing in, focus on the breath going into your nostrils or through your mouth, whichever feels comfortable. Sending that breath all the way down to your diaphragm. And when it's time for that breath to come out, see that breath rising up from the bottom of the diaphragm right through to the chest, into your throat and out through your mouth. So just take a few moments to observe your breath without trying to change it. As you relax a little more, imagine you are standing on cool stone steps leading up to a magnificent castle-like structure. It is barely morning, and the rock feels smooth and cold. The gentle touch of night lingering even as the sun comes up. From outside, you cannot see exactly what the castle looks like, but its walls and pinnacles seem to extend all the way into the clouds. As you stand here, you feel a sense of peace and well-being surrounding you, settling onto your shoulders like a favorite sweater. At a deep intuitive level, you know that this building represents more than temporal or worldly power. Instead, it is a place of deep spirituality, of the divinity and love that connects the entire universe. Here, you can breathe freely. Here, you can relax. When you find yourself a little more comfortable, imagine climbing these few steps, approaching the enormous wooden doors and heaving one open. You step inside, and at first the palace seems dark, the air cool and damp. After a few moments, however, your sight adjusts, and you find yourself inside a building of Gothic proportions, built of crystal and faceted mirrors. This is the Crystal Palace. Its walls extend hundreds of feet into the air, covered in tiny pieces of silvery mirror. Every so often, they are interrupted by tall, thin panels, crystal windows edged in silver. Above you, the ceiling is barely visible, glowing gently with a soft, white light. Under your feet, white marble tile covers the ground, cracked in some places after years of history, but they are not divisive or angry cracks. Instead, they are marks of history, badges of honor and age. This is a safe place, a calm place. All around you, you can see reflections of yourself, happy, calm, centered in this moment. As you breathe a little deeper, letting go of thoughts and distractions, the reflections fade, collecting into one you, collected and serene. If you sense yourself splitting into multiple reflections again, simply call yourself back, anchored by your breathing and the stillness of this time and place. Take a few moments now to simply be in this stillness. As you stand here breathing deeply, the sun, a great golden ball of flame, inches over the horizon and past the bottommost sills of the windows. As its light shines through the crystal panes, it seems to grow and intensify, becoming even more intensely golden, its fiery hue gilding the cathedral walls. You breathe a little deeper, feeling the air warm up just slightly, noticing the delicate touch of gold against the tiled floor. In some places, this tile has split and cracked, and lacy-leafed plants have emerged in the crevices. Notice the way they reach toward the light, basking in its loving glow. Imagine them bursting into flower, soft green buds transforming into ruffled white blooms. Inhale the exotic fragrance as you gaze at the blossoms, reflected 1,000,000 times in the mirrored mosaic walls. As you breathe, more and more of the sunrise spills into the palace, growing in color and beauty, reflected throughout and magnified into infinity. See your breath beckoning it in, bringing new light to this sacred place. taking a breath in, holding that breath and letting go. And a deeper breath now, breathing in, holding, and release. As you breathe a little deeper, a little slower, you notice that the light spilling over the edges of the windows is beginning to change. Slowly it deepens in color, transforming from a rich gold to a luxurious blue, a summer sky edged in gauzy white clouds. It is mid-morning, and the light pours into the cathedral, carefree and breezy, bouncing off the mirrored walls with a sound like a wind chime. You breathe, and your inhalations seem to draw even more of this sky into the cathedral, mingling with the golden sunshine, pooling in stained glass patterns on the tile floor. With each breath, the light seems to grow stronger, swirling around you, magnified with vibrancy and strength. You take it all in. Allow your shoulders to droop a little more, giving your breath permission to take its natural place. The crystal palace is illuminated, and so are you. Again the light begins to change, but instead of seeping through the crystalline windows, this light comes from inside this beautiful palace. Feel yourself relaxing, and as you do, the tiny plants grow larger, emerging from the cracks in the tiled floor, knitting themselves into hedges, arbors, and swathes of wildflowers. They grow wild and joyous, lit by the golden sun and turquoise sky. Their light is different, colourful and varied as it reflects off the windows and mirrors, a kaleidoscope of reds, green, pink, white, violet, orange, and blue. See the colours as they shift and dance, creating a pattern that seems to transform the windows and mirrors into stained glass, beautiful designs and patterns that reach hundreds of feet into the air. as you breathe, watching the colored light shift, morph, and dance across the windows and mirrored walls. You feel a realization unfolding in your chest. Each light, each speck of color is pretty in its own right, a shifting and dynamic force of nature. But it is only what it is, a single light dancing through a beautiful palace. Together, however, all these lights are magnificent, a ballet of color and movement set to the music of the universe. They flow together, merging and separating, lending their hue to one another before moving along, eager to explore new facets and crystals within this cavernous yet lovely structure. As you breathe, you realize that it is this variety, the ever-changing landscape of colors and shapes, that makes this place so otherworldly, so profoundly moving. This crystal palace is our universe, and you are a dazzling light within it. Because of this, you are perfect. Even if you feel that you are less than an oddly colored piece of glass or an unusual shape, it is precisely this that makes you so beautiful, so integral to this cathedral as a whole. You are a part of this undulating variety, a constant and a variable, a changing force impacting all those around you. Your light is magnified, intensified, shared with all those around you, touching more lives than you could possibly ever imagine. And as you gaze around, from the glittering walls to the ceiling hundreds of feet above you, you realize that everyone else is just as unusual, just as unique as you are. Every speck of light, every dazzling point is a person with ideas and thoughts and love ready to be shared with the world. In this place, in this crystal palace of life, we are united, whether we believe it or not. We are sky and clouds, sun and plants, unique but together. The light passes across your body, and as you feel it touching your face, your skin, your hair, you realize that it doesn't simply rest on you. It is you. You are light, immeasurable and radiant, filling everything around you with beauty and grace. Take a few moments now and let yourself embrace it as your consciousness expands, encompassing the entirety of the crystal palace and the world around you. embrace this unity, and if you feel the need, allow any questions or concerns you have about your waking life to appear. Imagine them appearing on the tiled floor, taking on a physical representation even as the light around you grows brighter and more joyful. If you would like, ask this light, the beauty and unity of the crystal palace, to transform this object, changing it from its present state to something deeper, more meaningful, and ultimately more healing than whatever it is now. And as you ask this, the light swirls around it, bathing this question or problem in a rainbow of colour, glowing as brightly as the North Star, transforming before your very eyes. Breathe a little deeper and allow it to become a part of the crystal palace, united within yourself and all the other colours within this place. And now, if you have not already, take a few extra minutes to bask in the glory and stillness of the crystal palace. Light shines through the windows, magnified 100 million times, so intense that it practically sings. You are a part of this light, the stained glass that moves and shifts with each breath, dazzling in its complexity and profound connectedness. Let it fill your physical body, replacing your every ache and pain with luminosity. Every inhale brings light. Every exhale brings a deeper sense of calm. And in this moment, in this breath, you are complete.